So if you are completely frantic, or if you don't believe that he can handle you, you will be attracting men that will not be able to handle you and will be avoidant to your frantic energy. Welcome back to Deeply Connected. The question of today we will be answering is, why men commit? Why do they decide to commit? Because, as we know, men love their freedom. And I am a woman and I love my freedom as well. And I know there are so many of you that are so scared to let go of the idea of freedom. So let's go there, because this is very interesting. Why do men commit? Well, ladies, I can already hear that. Why are we asking about men? Why do we need to hear what matters to them? Well, we need to hear about this because if you want to have a relationship with a man, you need to understand men. Isn't that right? You do that in business or your career, you understand the next steps or strategies or approaches that you need to be embodying. Correct? So, if you are looking for a long-term relationship and you are dating right now in the dating world and you think to yourself, I don't know what is going on, let me tell you about my client last week when she almost disappeared from dating apps because she had enough. She went on a few dates and she told me, Ludmila, I don't know what is going on with those men, but there are some special cases. And just on the day when she decided to leave Hinge, she received a message from a man that now she's been seeing for over a month. And it seems to be a great match. And guess what? He's leading in all the ways she needs him to lead. So let's get to it. As in the situation of my client, first of all, you need to understand that there is a man for every type of a woman. My client, as many of my clients, very masculine energy, very, very efficient, go-getter, successful at a very young age. And sometimes she thought, is there anybody that can really handle me? And when you think that you are too much or there is something wrong with you, you will act in specific ways. And men will always feel your energy. They will feel when you are anxious. They will feel when you are avoidant. They will feel when you are frantic. They will feel when you don't feel great about yourself. So looking for a healthy relationship, and I don't say perfect because, as we mentioned before, there's no perfect relationship, and we are always learning how to be more connected as we navigate relationships. So if a man is ready for the next step in his life and he's not looking for a fling, he will be paying attention to how he feels around you. So if you are completely frantic or if you don't believe that he can handle you, you will be attracting men that will not be able to handle you and will be avoidant to your frantic energy. Right? So he will be, whoever you attract will just confirm the energy of who you are. So as I was mentioning my client, when she was thinking nobody can handle me, she would go out on dates where the men were really in disempowered feminine energy. So the energy you bring into dating and into the relationship, right? That's why he will choose you. It will depend a lot on your energy. It doesn't mean that you have to be this fully confident woman that never doubts herself, but there is a difference, a slight difference between feeling I'm not worthy, I'm too much, and there is something off with me, an energy of I know I'm amazing, and sometimes I get anxious, or sometimes I need a little bit of time to process what is happening, so I retreat. Very different energy. So a man will be choosing you if he can be vulnerable with you. And that's a big one. Because you might feel so uncomfortable with your own emotions. Imagine, how can you be with this man when he comes from work, let's say, and he complains, or he is anxious, or he's overwhelmed? And how can you tell? Well, I feel it with my husband because of his energy. And instead of thinking that there is something wrong with him and he needs to be more positive, I just say, babe, I feel like maybe you are a bit anxious or overwhelmed. Like, what's happening? Tell me more. And I open space for him to share. But as a woman, you are only comfortable to do so if you do it with yourself. So if I am going through hard times, or if I face challenging emotions or situations, I need to be able to be with myself, and sometimes even go to rage. Ladies, anger is not a problem. Frustration and sadness isn't a problem either. So a man is looking for emotional experience and emotional connection. So him opening up to you will only be possible if he feels you are open to connection and there are no walls. And we feel the walls. It's almost like I'm trying to have a conversation with you, and every time I feel like I'm being shut down, I can feel that wall from the floor to the ceiling. And the only type of a man that will choose that will be a man who is himself disconnected emotionally. And I know this is not what you are looking for in a partner. So vulnerability is the key. Now, another way you can see that he is really ready to commit is when he is pursuing you. When you don't have to wonder, is he into me so much or not really? I don't know what is happening. He's being inconsistent. If a man is inconsistent, understand that he's not so much into you, or not so much into creating some type of a relationship with you long term. A man is ready to commit when he is there, when he calls you, when he plans, when he pursues. And even if you are still trying to navigate the dynamic and you say, I don't know, I can do it myself, he will take the lead and he will say, I know you can do it yourself, but I will plan for us because that brings me pleasure. So a man that is ready, you will see it in his action. His action is the same like his words. There is no wishy-washy energy that leaves you hanging and completely anxious, right? It is a very different approach than I hear from so many women. When a client asks me, Ludmila, he was reaching out or he was writing, and then I am not, but he's not inviting me out. Well, get a hint. I can also say, if he's reaching out, but not taking you out, I need you to stop communication. I need you to say, hey, I've been enjoying speaking, and let me go to text messaging in a second. I've been enjoying speaking to you, but I really prefer in-person connection. And if he doesn't pick it up and run with it, then you better run the other way. So I advise for texting, don't spend much time on just texting with a man without any signs of him wanting to see you, because it will be a complete waste of your time. There needs to be an exchange of messages. Who are you? A little bit about you. And then the next message needs to be about, I want to take you out. Because the moment you get with each other, the faster it happens, the faster you will recognize if the energy is even there. And if you are connecting on some way or compatible in some way, right? So a man that is ready to commit will immediately ask you out, will be serious about the concerns. And, some of you will say, but Ludmila, when can I say that I want marriage? When can I say that I want kids? When can I share really what I'm looking for? And you can be upfront. I don't say the first date because you don't even know if you're going to like him. But you can literally say on the third date to say, I'm looking for a long-term relationship with a man who is caring and who knows what he wants and takes actions and just make sure that everything is going in the right direction. That's what I'm looking for. Not with you, you say. I'm not saying I'm going to do it with you. I'm saying I am looking for a man who can do that and be that for me. And if a man is ready for a serious relationship, that will not be a problem for him. Okay? So there is a difference between men who are ready and men who are still playing. And it takes a special type of a woman to recognize which is which, right? So now, if he's able to express himself vulnerably with you, that's a sign that he's more connected and that he is more leaning towards choosing you and, giving up his freedom. Because when we choose, and I talk about monogamous relationships, if we choose one partner, that is kind of it for us. Because I think of long-term relationships as for decades. So it's a big decision for a man specifically to really say no more to any other women and choosing you as the one. And a lot of men are so ready to do so. Because let me tell you, being married or in a relationship improves men's life as well, if not even more, right? If he has the right woman by his side, he can achieve so much more because you inspire him. You become his muse. Of course, if you know how to do that and how to be that woman, you inspire him to become more, to always look for ways to improving himself. And also from a man that is ready, you will see he will do whatever it takes to make you happy. He will listen to you. He will notice what matters to you. And then he will go and create that for you in your life. So it's not that there are not good men out there or we don't know if I'm deserving of one. There are plenty of great men out there and there are plenty of men looking for a lifetime partner. People get married every day and we can say, yes, divorce rate is, 50%. Yeah, but there's still 50% of people that have amazing marriages and amazing relationships. So it's up to you to understand the difference between men that are ready and not. With time, if you are spending time together and you are going on more dates and you see he follows his word, he shares how he feels, he shares also when there is a conflict, for example, if he doesn't like something or he might have questions about something, he is eager to ask you. He doesn't refrain from having hard conversations. If he can do that with you, he's ready. Because as you navigate conflict, you really learn about each other. And if he is open to understanding what you do in conflict and what your patterns are, and he is working through this with you, there he is. He's not going anywhere. If he starts talking to you in future terms, if you can really feel that he has a vision for your future at some point in your dating process, again, it's a sign. It's a sign. I can see a future with you. There is a big difference between us going on few dates and us having drinks and a dinner, shifting to when we are married or when we are together, this is the vision that I see for us. If you can catch him speaking about both of you in future terms, there is a sign that he might be ready, right? If he introduces you to his family or his friends, if he's not keeping you over here without being a part of his life, it's very important to pay attention to that. And I don't say from the first date because you also need to realize as a woman, how fast or how slow will I go through this process? And this is where a lot of women get so anxious and fidgety and focusing on why isn't he calling? And he needs to understand what I do and who I am and how important I am in my workplace. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Because when a man dates you, he's not there to applaud you constantly for your title. Like, I'm this important person. Okay. How is that doing anything for emotional connection for the heart and soul to me? When I'm around you as a man, do I have to feel like you are important and constantly cheer you on like you are important? Or do I cheer you on and celebrate you because you make me feel like I'm the one for you as well? Big difference here, right? So man is not going to choose you, and I already said it in season 1. Go and listen to that episode. He's not going to choose you for your career, right? But he's going to choose you because you are happy with yourself. You are fulfilled with yourself. That's number 1. But what it matters in the world, how important you are, that does not much for connection at all. So if you are going on dates and you are not hearing back from him and you think to yourself, well, does he even understand how important does he even understand how much I have achieved? Doesn't really matter. Most successful women are being left. Have you noticed? So pay attention to how you present yourself, how you think, what's the energy as we think about vulnerability. So remember I mentioned why the men choose you. Because they feel vulnerable with you. They feel like they can be themselves and relax as well. Because this is the reality. Out in the world, there's not a lot of men that will be talking about being tired or exhausted or overwhelmed with each other. That's not the culture they grew up in. So the only safe space emotionally for him, it is you. And when you are together for 15, 20, 30, 40 years, like you have to be okay with both of you being human. And he will have days that are not always, the happy mood. It's literally impossible. So are you able to hold space for that without fixing, without advising, but also without feeling like he constantly has to be in a good mood because if he's not, it means something about me. A man wants a woman who is comfortable with her emotions and so she can be comfortable with his. So vulnerability, one-on-one. As you progress, again, reminder, he introduces you to his friends and his family. He talks in future tense and opportunities and vision for both of you. He wants to do whatever it takes to make you happy, right? His words are followed by his actions. He's being consistent. And you know what? It feels easy. It feels easy because nothing in dating in the beginning should feel hard. If you are feeling it is hard and it's like pulling teeth, well, one question to ask is, am I the chaser and I'm the chaser, or is he now trying to really be the one for me? So what is happening? And men are ready, ladies. Men are ready. And they are looking for the love as well because love is all everybody desires. Like we all desire love, right? So when the man, and I think you know the difference when you see it, when a man knows, he moves differently. He moves differently. And he doesn't need you to perform. He doesn't need you to do for him. He just needs you to receive from him. So if he can see himself with you as his wife, and he can see himself as, I come home and I come to a happy space, but I'm also coming to a safe space where I can be myself, when I can take my CEO hat off or whatever that is, right? The working hat off, and I can be myself as a man with my woman. And I can see we can overcome challenges in a constructive way. We can also have fun together. Like you bring this playfulness to the table and into this dynamic. If he can experience that, he can see a vision, how that feels for him. And if we have kids, how are you as a mother? Are you able to be playful but also structured and also caring? And how does that feel for him? And am I ready, if I see that, if I'm ready to give up my freedom for that vision that's not even there, but I'm betting on it because that's how you make me feel when I'm around you, that's when he is ready. You can do all the tricks in a bedroom, but if that emotional aspect is missing, if this aspect of I'm the muse and I'm an inspiration and I'm also a wild woman, right? So I'm sometimes unpredictable. We forget that, like we need to be sometimes unpredictable, not in toxic ways as a woman, but in ways that makes him think like, wow, I didn't expect that. Interesting, right? If we can bring that and he can see that vision and he sees that because we make him feel a certain way and we make him feel a certain way because we feel a certain way about ourselves, that's when a man is ready to commit. So you will see it. there is no question about how he shows up in your life. That's when you know. So, ladies, if in your dating life right now you feel frantic, you feel anxious, you feel like nothing is working out, let me promise you, it's not the man in a way. It's something within you that you are still not facing, because the man that is ready to choose you when you figure this out is just around